We've always had room in our hearts for film and TV, not just on Netflix, but tape and disc and theaters. Also, God forbid that they take it all away and leave us nothing to broadcast to loyal listeners. We'll binge watch every single movie, so you don't have to. What else are we here for? Coming to you every week. Listen to us while you're busy. Luckily, we forgot to grow up. Hey everybody, it's Craig.
Hey, it's Scott.
Hey, it's Andrew.
Welcome to episode number 82 of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. This week, we're going to talk about everything except for Avengers. That's a joke. We're going to do spoilers on Endgame. If you haven't seen it by now, you're missing out, first of all, because it's been out for a while. And second of all, it's been out for a while. So get your act together or listen to this podcast. Maybe this will help you decide whether or not to go see it.
But we are spoiling it. We are going to spoil
every
little
100%
detail about
going
it.
to spoil it.
So not every detail, but the ones we can think of.
On the fence about it, and you decide to listen to this, what kind of person are you? Probably my kind of person who just doesn't care.
Yeah, that sounds
That's what I was thinking, like a masochist. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Like a person who like self-inflicting pain?
You're probably like me. You just don't actually care about the movie being spoiled. You just want to enjoy it.
And that's fair. There's something to that, I think, especially when it comes to movies. That's like, well, is it about the destination or the journey when it comes to a movie? And so I think
depends.
That's what. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think with this, because if you're so tired of superhero movies, you just want to frickin' know.
Preach, brother. You just want to fucking done and over with.
Which is where you two stand, which I think.
Yep.
It's helpful we bring that up at the beginning as we to go into this discussion where I am definitely the most in favor of the movie.
I think that there's probably quite a few people. Like, a lot of the people I've talked to about this movie are at the point where they're like, I just don't want to watch anymore.
Yeah.
Especially I don't want to watch any more that are like intertwined and combined and stuff like that. Just give me a movie to watch instead of giving me homework for the next 10 years.
It's really funny because 10 years ago all we wanted was it to all be interconnected, and now we've gone to a point where it's like, yeah, we've had enough. For everyone else, I'm fine with it. I want more. I want them to keep connecting things, but I'm crazy, so it's a little different. But anyways, the movie, where should we start? This was the part I had the most trouble with when I did my own video review for this. It's a 3-hour movie and a lot of fucking shit happens.
Exactly.
It's a hard place to pick.
Long.
Way too long.
It could have been 2 hours and I would have been happy. I realize I'm not their core target, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You could argue that Marvel's core target now is the casual fan. Based on how much they try to intertwine everything, but only base it on the movies. So it's not really the hardcores. But the hardcores want to see all of those fine details that they put into that stupid movie.
They've stopped marketing the movie towards people who are going to go opening day.
Yeah.
And they market it for the people who are going to go 3 weeks down the road.
That's very true.
Because if you're waiting 3 weeks to see this movie and you care about spoilers, you're a terrible person.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing, Sharon? Come on. Take your kids already.
Either take them or accept the fact that you don't get to say, don't tell me who won the Super Bowl all the way till March.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't. You don't see people on the 5th of March going, hey, don't tell me who won the Super Bowl. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Yeah,
that's on you, buddy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
Google exists.
How have you not seen anything? The internet exists.
Yeah, there's plenty of...
How have you not died getting through life using that sort of ideology? Ugh.
Natural selection doesn't work quite like it used to.
No.
Unfortunately. I'm going to be one of the very minor few to come out and say that this movie was not the best that it could be. It was a pretty decent movie. I don't think it was the best in the MCU. I think it was chock full of issues. And honestly, it felt kind of forced. It felt like they were just like, fuck, we need to end this chapter so we can move on to bigger things. How are we going to do that? This is how we're going to do that. We're going to piss Andrew off by making Tony Stark a happy man.
They should have...
He's going to retire.
They should have ended it at the end of Infinity War. They should have told everybody it was going to be a split film,
And then
then
just
not
not
make
made it?
anything for like
Oh,
8 years.
Honestly, if it came up in like 4 years, I think it would have been solid.
That would have driven everybody nuts. Could you imagine?
Hit you with like a 1 day like Netflix release where no one knew it was fucking coming,
What
and
they
then
should
all
have
of a
done,
sudden it was there.
they should have taken the first 15 minutes before the 5 years later garbage that they threw into my film.
Bullshit.
And then, so they should have taken that and hot released it onto like YouTube or something as like an extended trailer.
Yeah.
And then not made anything for 5 years.
5 fucking years.
And then pick it up at the screen that says 5 years later. No recap.
Just hit you
5
with the-
years
yeah.
later, and then do it in real time. Like, no, Scott, you're
not on board for
this.
this?
This is
you
just
seem to be
completely
so much
ridiculous.
less
This
on
is
board.
completely ridiculous. I was thinking, I'm like, we have anyone who might have been listening to this point, they're gone. There's
That's fine by me.
yeah.
Anybody
They
who
don't.
might
They
have
don't
been
want to
listening-
hear my opinions of the rest of the movie, anyways.
If you've stuck
Definitely not.
around and you're new to the podcast because you're seeing this for the first time, that was a joke for the most part.
Some of it. I feel Andrew was a little bit more serious about what he was saying.
No, I am very serious.
I know you were.
I'm all about hyperbole.
Y'all
Yeah.
ever been mad at characters? Because I am. Steve Rogers can suck a big fat donkey dick and slit his motherfucking wrists. He's a piece of shit. I said it. On the podcast, on the Forgot to Grow Up podcast. Sick. I said that shit.
Next week, we're just going to claim this was an imposter.
Steve Rogers probably thinks he can beat the Batmans.
Batman's like
The
plural?
Batmans.
I'm assuming that's
Like,
a reference.
this dude has the gall to show up at Tony Stark's door when he's happily retired with a child at home, and say, "Yo, buddy, fucking do it."
You
And
know
Tony
what I
Stark's
hate?
like, "Hey, buddy, I'm not gonna do it. I got a kid."
In
You'll
his
see
defense,
this?
he asked, "Can you do it?" And Tony was like, "No," and he was like, "Okay," and he then moved on to asking Bruce.
Okay. Let's
So he just
fast
asked,
forward.
'cause
Let's
you-
fast forward through all of that. Let's get to the end part. Okay.
But wait a second, I want to go back. For
Okay,
2
let's go
seconds
back so
before you
Craig can
jump,
say
before you
something.
jump ahead. Is because just before that cut, because that's in the 5 years later part.
That's
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
Just before that cut, they allude to all this ridiculous animosity, and then assume that 5 years down the road everything's kind of cool. Cause
Yeah, Tony in no uncertain terms pretty much told Cap to go fuck himself already.
before the 5 year jump,
Yeah.
and then after he's all civil with him on the
after
friggin'
the end of the
stairs.
battle.
yeah,
After
well,
they find
that's
out they
what I was
lost.
gonna say.
He's like, we weren't together.
He just got back from a month of
Cap
being
is
out
a
in
shithead,
space.
and Stark is the only one who ever called him on his bullshit. Cap was a spoiled little princess, always had been, after he
he
got
gets
his
the happy
superpowers. Yeah, that's my thing, okay? So Stark has to give up his motherfucking life to save this universe, okay? He's
Because
a
he was
hero.
the one in
By all
400 million ways it could
by
be
all-
done.
Hey, forget that. He is the one hero, okay? In this great big universe outside of arguably Black Widow and Vision, okay? To give up his life for this shit. And then Captain America has the ball sack, the fucking chode to say, "I'm going to return the Infinity Stones." And then does it and thinks he deserves a fucking super special happy life after what he took away from Tony Stark's kid.
he didn't
He gets
take it
to look
away.
at himself in the mirror
He-
and
he
say,
didn't take it
"Hey,
away."
Tony Stark's, your kid no longer has a father. She has to try to navigate this world without daddy. I'm going to go live a happy life. I'm going to go fuck up whatever timeline I end up in. I'm going to have my special life. I'm going to be the hero of my story." What he should have done is return the time stones or return all the Infinity Stones and then just walked into the ocean. Just disappeared. Because fuck that guy. You don't get to show up, beg
Looking like
Stark to
Mr.
do
Rogers.
his shit. 'Cause
He didn't beg.
He knows
He just
Stark.
asked.
He
He just
knows Stark.
asked.
He knows Stark goes 1,000% or nothing. Look at Ultron. He didn't think, let's baby step this. It was 1,000% or nothing. So he knew damn well Tony was going to do this
This
shit.
comes down to personal responsibility.
He knew
Comes down to personal
damn
responsibility.
well he was going to do this. He doesn't get to have the happy ending. He doesn't. As a hero who just watched his arguably one of his best friends die, you don't get to go have a happy life. You kill yourself because fuck you, Captain America. America's ass? Yeah, you are America's ass. You're America's asshole.
Wow.
The fact that Paul Rudd was a far superior character in this movie to him
In your opinion.
is no, fuck you in my opinion. Fuck Captain America. That dude dead to me. Self-righteous prick. Just because you think you can wield a hammer? Fuck you.
Well, it's not that he thinks. He did.
So?
This is a difference.
So? Tony didn't try to wield the hammer this time.
Because he
Maybe
could have. He wasn't worthy.
You don't know that. He didn't try to pick up the hammer this time.
Well, he should have tried.
He didn't have a chance. He was too busy
What do you mean?
dying.
It was on the field. It was in the middle of the field.
He
It's
was
the same way
too
Cap
busy
had available for it.
dying. He has
He didn't
no
die till the
special-
end.
like, no,
He sacrificed
He
himself.
doesn't have unlimited energy in his heart like Cap does, where he just keeps fucking going and muscling on. Tony Stark is just a dude. He's just a smart-ass dude. And now he's a dead dude because Cap's a piece of shit. Fuck
So
that guy.
wait. Is this all just so your whole animosity? Is that the right word towards the movie? Is that
It's
the-
not all on Cap. Fuck that guy, though.
Okay, but it's mostly on Cap. It
Okay,
feels like.
let's bounce it over to something else, okay? The Thor is fat. Okay?
Yeah.
He can't get drunk off beer. They state that in a previous movie. I believe it was Ultron.
Well,
He
that's
eats other
presuming.
stuff, too.
That's presuming that it's human beer, not some kind of Asgardian brew,
They have-
which can get him drunk. Because it is
Do-
New Asgard.
do
They're
you
full of
think
new Asgardians. Why wouldn't
do you
they?
think they
'cause-
keep Asgardian beer on rocket ship just cuz?
No, I'm saying they know how to make it, and when they got to Earth, they instead of making, like, if there's a brewery, they could just make their own because they have that knowledge. I'm saying to make Asgardian beer
Okay,
'Cause we've been making beer
I still hated Fat
for
Thor.
thousands
okay?
of years. So
No, Fat Thor is
Fat
best Thor.
Fat Thor. No, fuck Fat Thor. Okay, as
Nope.
a fat guy, I know what's best for my people. Okay, and let me tell you, Thor is not one of us.
See,
Okay,
Fat
I'll give you
Thor,
that part.
okay.
Fat Thor found a way to be a background character, and it was fantastic.
No,
In a movie
my,
full of primary characters, it
my
was nice to see a
my
secondary
favorite
character.
Thor was super intense, cocky, awesome Thor. My Infinity War and Ragnarok Thor. Those were the best Thors.
Yeah, but this is what happens when you go through those two, and then at the end, you lost. Like you're preparing for the big game, and then you lose the Super Bowl. And this is after the Super Bowl.
No,
He
then you
spiraled
play
out of
the next
control.
fucking
I
game.
can't give you a reference in real football of that happening to one of the
Because
to
it
like
doesn't happen.
It does though.
I'm
like
sure it happened to a Buffalo Bill.
I'm sure
sometime
some
around.
player like.
That they lost 4 wars.
What about
though.
that guy whose
In a
knee went
row.
like sideways? Isn't that guy just? You know what I mean? Like my point being that like
Fat
that's
Thor
part of
is
his character.
bullshit. Fat Thor is bullshit, and they use it as comedic relief.
Well, the comedic relief had more to it than just being a laugh. It was because how broken he was that he was making these jokes in the face of this grim thing because he's already. in
Why
his
do he wear the
opinions,
gloves,
lost
man?
everything.
Why do he wear the
That'll-
gloves?
that'll
Why do he
give you-
wear 7 sweaters?
That I'll give you. I'll give you.
There's
both
no
of
reason
those.
for it. They
I'll
had
give
no
you both
idea
of
how to
those.
dress a fat guy, so they said, "Fuck, here
I'll
we
give
go."
you all of those. I won't argue with any of those
Okay,
clothing
let's move
option
on to the more
choices.
important things. Okay, his beard. That was not 5 years worth of growth. I promise you.
Well,
Because you look at his hair, and now it was roughly 5 years worth of nasty ass growth.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on
not-
to the most important part
he's
of this
not allowed
movie.
to trim his beard.
Well, do you think he did? Do you really think this guy cared about if let's move on past the fat thing and accept that he looks that disgusting?
Okay.
Okay? He's no longer he's no longer a god. He doesn't look like a god anymore. Do you think
Well-
he cares about trimming his beard?
Well, that's just. You're saying Odin wasn't a god because he didn't have a 6-pack?
I'm saying that I was making a reference to Infinity War where he's like, you're a man. this is a god.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I was just.
And you don't know what Odin had going on under all those robes and armor. You don't know how shredded he was. For all you know, he was just an Adonis with that face.
That's fair. I don't think in the MCU we ever see shirtless Anthony Hopkins.
You don't. You don't see him just lounging by a pool.
I don't believe so.
It's probably for the best. Considering.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because Andrew would still be screaming. Okay, moving on to the most important part of this movie. Remaining with hair. Am I supposed to believe that Scarlett Johansson's hair, after 5 years, would grow out with some blonde streaks, still having like 5 inches of root for red hair, versus others that had grown out almost a foot? There was no way. It was extremely unrealistic. And honestly, seeing that took me out of the movie for a minute, because I was like, nope, that's not how hair growth works.
That's fair. I'll give it to you that all hairdressers might have been taken out of this movie.
I was taken out of it by that.
No, I'll
5
give you
years
that
down the road and you're giving me 2 years worth of growth? That's not how hair works, sweetheart.
That's fair. I feel like you're sometimes like forgetting that people go to the barber more than once every 5 years.
So you're telling me she went to the hairdresser and said, you know what? I kind of like this.
I don't know
this
what they're
up
doing.
3 or 4 inches. I don't believe it, because her hair was significantly longer.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just throwing out possibilities here. You're the hair expert. I am
the hair expert.
Know
know what else I'm an expert of on this podcast? Tattoos. How does it make sense? I was confused with what you're doing.
Oh, sorry.
How does it make sense that Clint, after losing his family, the haircut I'm going to give him, okay? The haircut, like, you're going through some shit. You don't want long hair getting in your murder assassin ways. You'll go get a haircut. Cool. That he stopped and found a tattoo artist to give him a full sleeve.
Yep, I'm going to give you that again.
Somewhere along the way, the guy who was on a murder mission to take down everyone who's killed people, like all these organized crime units, he's taking him down, top to bottom. He stopped to go get a sleeve tattoo.
Yeah.
How does that better the story?
Can't help you there.
It does not.
Can't help you there.
I kind of hope his
Cool
wife, when she
setting.
sees him, she's like, ugh.
I was hoping for that a little bit, but
She's like, you're going to wear a long sleeve, sweetheart.
Well, he is at the end, so.
Considering they start the movie off with him wearing shorter sleeves.
Well,
and you can see that he doesn't have the tats.
It's particularly kind of weird too, because it's like, well, it didn't play to anything other than showing that, he obviously was in a weird place that he decided he needed a tattoo to show.
It wasn't
his
even
new
like pictures of his
transformation.
kids or like their names or anything. It was like a whole demonic picture.
It was a Ronin, so like
Yeah.
rogue samurai, but it had like a skull face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, no, I agree.
How does that better the story?
I did not focus as much on these milliseconds of the movie.
I did.
You seem to have. Yes.
I chose to focus on these milliseconds in the movie because there was too many things going on in this. I was talking to my apprentice on the drive back after the first time I saw
Who
it.
I think biased you against this movie.
Why?
I think if you went with like me and Craig your first viewing,
No.
it might have played differently. We don't know this anymore. Though. We don't know.
We don't.
We can't know. That's
But-
that's another dimension where stones were changed and stuff like that.
Too long of a movie, for starters.
Well, I can agree with that. I just think you're being picky.
I am super picky about this. I think if they had taken the first 2 hours of it, so prior to the final war, okay, give me that as a movie. Rearrange a few things in it. Give me that as a second movie. At least get me a little frothing at the mouth to see how it ends again, as opposed to being like, well, sit down for 3 hours. You're about to get a headache. Enjoy.
So, do you think the third Return of the King should have been split into two then? Because it's about the same length. And
I have never sat
has
through the
about that
Return of the
same-
King in one go.
that's fair.
I have stopped and done something.
So it should have been
through it.
split in two parts, in your opinion, as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Just wanted to make
3
sure. I
hours.
disagree with that. Well, 3 hours is long, I agree, but it's one movie.
Well, considering there was an hour and 15 minutes of them just doing their time heist, which had easily 25 minutes of just forced jokes and just forced little scenes, things that didn't absolutely have to be there.
Well, nothing absolutely has to be anywhere in a movie.
I think they could have tweaked a few things out. Like, along the way, along their time heist, they probably could have lost 25 minutes, and it would have been, I think, a better movie. It would have felt like it was moving a little quicker than it was.
So one thing I'll say to that is, it's possible that because we had such a big cast, that there might have been like screen time things playing into that too.
That's not my problem. My problem is to sit down and watch your movie.
Yeah, no, and I'm just saying the movie that made 1.2 billion this weekend, they decided to go differently.
Yeah, it's at 1.4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be the highest grossing movie of all time. Okay,
Probably,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
we can guess this.
Yeah, it seems that way.
It's not my favorite Marvel movie.
That's
I
fair.
don't even think I'd put it in my top 3 personally. I
That's
prefer
fair.
Shazam over it. But
That's
the final hour, like your massive culminating fight scene, was the best part of this movie. And
It
the
was awesome.
first 20 minutes was the second best part of this movie. And then for me, everything else, fucking take it or leave
you
it.
really hated the time heist.
I did.
That's fair.
Time
I
travel.
didn't mind the time.
I
heist
hate
so much.
I hate time travel
That's
for
fair
anything.
too.
Like, I've been watching The Flash, and I'm so sick of time travel.
Oh, the
because-
Flash fucked. Like they gave up with the rules of time travel long
Yeah,
ago with Flash.
but watching the Avengers and them trying to give you like a legitimate solid, no, this is what happens in time. But then they give you 3 or 4 different explanations that none of them kind of overlap. Like when the Ancient One tries to be like, no, this is what happens. And they're like, oh, yeah, but this. And you're like, okay, but that isn't what's exactly going to happen. You can't
Yeah.
guarantee that either. I don't like the changing of it. I took it as nothing really fucking mattered over the last 11 years now. Like, everything
Well-
that they've been through, growing of the characters, too fucking bad. Because
they have an ending.
No, because some shit's gone and changed now.
But that's life. That's what happens after 11 years. Things change.
Yeah.
Like think
but
about 11 years ago in our lives.
I don't want to.
What's
think
the
about 11 years
exact
ago in my
same as
life.
that? Besides some of this friendship.
I
you
didn't
know?
go back in time and let Steve Rogers have a happy fucking ending. Okay.
Well, see, you're presuming that wasn't the way it always happened.
Time travel's bullshit.
Well, I agree. Time travel is bullshit.
Like, that is, to me, that's a cop out, saying, oh no, we can just go back in time and do stuff. Like,
Well, see,
in
I think-
reality, here we gotta soldier on.
I think I think they left those made it really kind of not confusing, but gave the subtle reasons or theories for the time travel because they want to be able to leave it open for them to do a multiverse, right? So like,
I don't want to see a multiverse. I'm just so sick of superheroes.
the
God,
only reason I'm
so
saying like a
done with it.
multiverse is because that's the way they are able to then do the individual stories, which we were talking about before. Like how you guys would prefer a less interconnected one. It's the only way they can do it. Now they can give us a Loki shoot off and they can give us other shoot offs because they used this and it's in the same multiverse, but it's not connected via it's you know what I mean? So
I'm so sick of superheroes. There's too much stuff. They've made money. Just give me something original now. You've given me 11 years of stretched original content. Let's move on to the next big thing. Give me unicorns that fuck umpires or something. Just give me
Yeah, I don't want
something
that.
original.
I don't think anybody wants that.
You don't know what people's fetishes are.
Isn't
That's
that the
I'll
rumored
give you
plot
that
for
one.
the second season of Happy.
Maybe. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe he needs to go get a new job because he can't be a private eye or anything.
Like you guys referred to another comic book franchise.
Not important. It's not the same.
Well, it's not superheroes. That's where it's
Just because it
different.
has a graphic novel does not make it in the same sphere as Marvel anything. Hell, I will take DC stuff at this point.
Well, that's all
I
we
don't
need
even
for a
want
chat.
that. That's the thing. I don't want anything. Fucking end it for a bit. Give me 3 years. Okay? 3 years of nothing, and then give me like 2 of each. Just 2 of each. 1 every 3 months. I can live with that. And then give me another couple years. and then maybe dabble a little more. I don't need 3 to 4 every single year forever from now until the end of time, plus the TV shows, plus the shorts, plus this, plus that, plus, oh, fuck off.
It sounds like people who like gave up comic book reading in like the 90s because they started going a similar route with this, which was every, superhero had their own individual comic and you had to read every comic in order to understand the big thing at the end. So I get where you're feeling. I'm just not even close to feeling that way, as weird as it sounds.
You can only drown a baby for so long.
Well, in this metaphor, you're the baby.
No, I'm the drowner, and I'm holding down the baby, and the baby
Who's the baby
is super.
then?
The baby is like Marvel, and I'm just killing it because I'm fucking sick of
then-
superhero movies.
I'm confused, but you're not. You're killing your love for them, I guess. But
I guess so.
Marvel's not going anywhere. Is my point on that.
They're dead to me. I killed them. I drowned them in a tub.
Okay, dead to you is one thing, but dead, duh. Anywho, Craig, we've talked a lot of negative stuff that Andrew didn't like. Was there anything positive that you liked about the movie?
I liked Thor.
I enjoyed Thor's character as well. I liked that it had a little more nuance to it.
And I liked that he was kind of secondary. I actually liked the time heist bit because it brought a different perspective on the past. And I also liked the way that they treated the time travel too, because in a lot of places, like, don't do anything stupid because you're gonna change it. But in this case, they were like,
Yeah, it doesn't
you
matter.
can't change it, but don't be an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
So they went ahead and just did shit anyways.
If we're really gonna mess it up, we have to go back and fix it. So
Yeah, it is a little. I liked the time travel, but I'll never argue that it's a little muddy the way they like justify
They
it.
squeezed just a few too many like callbacks and references in it.
well, that
And
was
for me-
something that I didn't generally care about because most of them I had been seeing for the first time. Or
That's
first time in a
that's what I
really
loved
long
about the
time.
ones they picked. I'm like, Thor 2, okay.
Oh, you got to be shitting me! Oh, that's an
no.
Ultron reference because Steve doesn't say shit. Damn it!
Yeah. I'm trying to remember anything else that was positive. I thought it was long. Very long. There were a lot of really small details they could have gotten rid of. And I've already pitched my corrected cut, but Scott didn't like that.
Well, that's just because I enjoyed this movie. That's all this comes down to. Is I like the movie, so like I understand some of the problems you guys have with it, such like the 3-hour thing and this, but
Well, that and like the final battle, like I understand you guys probably liked it. I'm not into that sort of thing.
yeah, no, exactly.
And it just felt very, very,
It was
very
an hour long.
drawn out.
It was
That's my problem.
Or
is it's
45
like-
minutes, sorry, because the
just-
conclusion is Steve ruining everything was another 15 minutes. So it was like 45 minutes of fight.
It's like, just stop, all right? I get it. Everybody is going to have their hand on the stupid gauntlet. I need to see a billion callbacks. I understand that's what the people want, but I don't. So if I was to cut this movie, it would be 2 hours, and I would remove most of that.
But see, it sounds like the two of you just didn't want a culmination of movie, like
I
one
just,
that's
I didn't need to watch 8 films in a row. You know who could have not been in the movie at all? Captain Marvel. Completely pointless. Completely pointless.
Yeah, she didn't really.
I get
push
that, like,
anything forward.
I'll
like
give you
her
that one.
coming in at the end is kind of like, it saves the whole thing, which is a really convenient plot way to not make that last 2.5 hours, because that's what it would have been.
well, that's all it comes down to. Is it's not that she turned it in such a way that it instantly is like, oh, she saves the day. It's more like she just sped it up a little bit so we don't have to spend 4 hours at the movies. But I agree. Her character was a little forced in.
She
Like-
was completely forced in.
Yeah,
It's like
I-
they took square peg, round hole, except the round hole was about half the size of the square peg, and they put it in anyway.
And they broke the block.
Yeah.
I liked the little tip of the cap nod at like all the women of Marvel where they made them the guard to like get the gauntlet to the like the time van.
Yeah, that was a fun scene.
I like that.
I saw it coming as soon as like she popped up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there it is. Like it's like, I mean, as soon as that movie was like queuing up, I'm like, yep, there they are. Ah, and I loved it. It was great.
It was weird to see Pepper fighting, but that was interesting.
What
One
was
thing
more irritating was the people that applauded that garbage.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than people who can't just
Who clap at a movie?
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys would have hated
Like-
it opening night because it was
audience-
clap central on opening
that
night.
audience was really quiet, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, the one we saw. Like the
exactly.
Thursday night opening I went to.
Yeah.
The guy next to me, like he was like the inner child in me, but on the outside, and just like every time something was happening, he was jumping and giddy, and he clapped more times than the rest of the audience. And normally that would annoy me, but it was innocent in a way, you know what I mean? I could just tell he was just happy and that this was the best thing in his year, you know? And that's what it comes down to, is this is the best thing in some of our years and some of our decades. Some of us don't have more. Some of us don't have love in our life.
That's not my fault, Scott. Download Tinder. Figure it out. I hate when people clap at movies.
No, I normally...
Who's
I'll
hearing
agree
it?
with that.
I'm hearing it. The people in the theater are hearing it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, it's not like you're clapping at a stage show
I
where
agree.
the stage director and the actors get to know that you appreciated it.
Yep.
Who the fuck are you trying to impress?
No,
guys?
I
Some
completely
kid in
agree.
the projector room.
You could literally
click the
pull your
button.
dick out and piss on the screen, and no one who was in this movie would ever find out about it.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I feel like
but,
that would make some news.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Clapping at the theaters is a little just... it's unnecessary. It's definitely unnecessary, for sure. It's just a weird expression of, you know, your feelings for it. And I get it, especially when you're at, like... When I was at the opening night, you could feel that, like, that energy of everyone just being super excited for it. So maybe I'm biased to that, too, just because it was kind of it was a different experience. Because we all know I normally hate a packed theater. I will never go on an opening night normally. But this one I went and I enjoyed it. I was fine. I don't know.
It makes more sense to clap when the pilot lands
I
the
never
plane
clap.
than it does at a movie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But
I'll agree with that because the pilot can hear you at the front.
Yeah.
You're showing your appreciation for surviving life. Like clapping at the fact that Cat picked up the hammer. That's a cheer scene. Like, yeah, maybe you're like like a noise maybe, but a clap. I agree. That's unnecessary. It's too much.
The one last thing I'm going to say about this movie before hopefully we move on to WWWTW.
I didn't get to say anything about this movie.
You took your chance to do your own review, Scott.
That's
You've been
fair.
talking
You
the
took it
entire
into your
time.
fair.
own hands.
That's fair. I wanted to discuss with you
You
guys
know what?
more.
We'll let Andrew say his thing, and then you give your thoughts, and we'll tell you how wrong you are.
That's
And then we'll move
that's
on.
all I wanted.
Okay, so at the end, Cap asks Doctor Strange, out of the 14, whatever the fuck it is this the one? And he's like,
Iron
I'm
Man.
not. Yeah. Or it's not Cap, yeah, Iron Man, sorry. He asks him, is this it? And he's like, if I tell you, it won't happen. The fact that he does it pissed me off that he had to go out of his way to show the number one. Because if you went like this to me in the middle of anything, and you went like this, my immediate thought is, hold on a sec.
Yeah, but he
That is
the
my
word
thought.
One, too.
I knew the word one too, and I wasn't thinking one right off the bat when I saw it.
But
Like,
he
why
mouthed-
couldn't he have just been like any gesture
Well,
would
see-
have fucking done?
But he mouthed the word one.
And he was in the middle
didn't
of
have
doing
to show
other
the
magic
one then.
stuff too. Like his hand was already up. I think like the finger being there. I think they just focused in on his finger being there. more
No,
than
the
anything.
finger fucking it aggravated me. He could have done anything. He could have like given the head nod.
I agree. It
Yell
could've
the
just been a
word
head
one.
nod.
Fucking magically make the number one fucking appear out of butterflies. Would have been better. Just the fact they went like this. Because to anyone anywhere else, this is hold on a sec. Give me a second.
Not in that context,
Brother. It was just, I did not like that. It felt like it was like a hat on a hat. It was just like this. I said number one. I said it was one in this. This is how many times we win.
Well, see, I saw that more as Iron Man realizes what he has to do. He looks over at at Doctor Strange, who's the only one who knows how it's supposed to play out.
There.
Oh no, I agree. A head nod could have worked as well, but they didn't choose that.
It would have seemed a lot
and I'm not
more
going to pick the
organic
whole
to
movie
go.
apart
Like,
for
when he's fucking holding his shit. A head nod would have seemed more organic than. Duh.
I'll give you that. A head nod's always more organic.
8 years ago, I couldn't even use these hands.
That's not cool.
It's true though.
All right, Scott.
Okay. Well, a lot of the stuff that Andrew didn't like, I was just like, it was very small details. I was just like, yeah, that just didn't faze me whatsoever. I liked the time travel mainly because, like what Craig said, because they decided to kind of give you a rule, but also make it very clear they don't really know what they're talking about. Like Bruce says it at one point, like, this is all bullshit or none of it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like it's all made up or none of it is kind of deal. And it's
so Back to the Future is based on bullshit.
Well, yeah, all movies are based on bullshit. Well, that's not true. Certain types of movies are definitely based on bullshit, and a lot, like especially these fantasy or big, high, like I don't know what the word to use for this is that encapsulates all of them. I don't want to say just sci-fi but you know what I mean, like these ones that take you a little bit out of the normal world and into a world where it's like, okay, you have to accept certain things. And Back to the Future, you have to accept that time travel is possible and that they were able to build a time machine in the 80s, you know? Like, you have to just accept that, even though it's like, well, they didn't even have cell phones, but okay. Like, those are the little things you have to accept in certain things. So I just accepted that they were using time travel as both a way to, yes, solve the problem in this, but I mean, there's really not many other solutions. So you got to come up with a solution, so they came up with one. And I like that they left it kind of vague enough that it's like, okay, this is how we're going to justify having a multiverse eventually, because otherwise you're just saying it's a single, like, otherwise you can count out how many timelines there are. If you leave them more vague, you can just start having things come up wherever you want, right? Like, you can give us a Hawkeye TV series and a Cap and Bucky TV series, and it, you know, it works, but it doesn't have to necessarily connect to these movies, because it's like, oh, well, time stuff, right? So I like that they left it vague enough while still having a little bit of a rule within the movie itself, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I was okay with time travel. I liked Iron Man's kind of, you know, the fact that he finally got to sacrifice himself to save literally the entire universe. Because when he does decide to, you know, do the snap, it's because Thanos had mentioned how he's going to wipe out the entire universe this time he gets the gauntlet. Not just half, the entire thing, and wipe it out and bring back a universe that is more grateful. So if Iron Man doesn't do this, you know, the snap when he has to, the whole universe was going to go. So it's like, I like that he pretty much, you know, he's sacrificed himself so many times, but didn't, you know what I mean? Like, he was willing to sacrifice himself, but then, you know, he survived the first time and the second time. And this time he, you know, gave the ultimate sacrifice. And then I get, like, that sucks that he's gone, but it's also like, well, he protected his family and the whole world. He left a legacy behind. You know, he is Iron Man.
It's the fact that Cap got the fucking happy ending.
Well, see, no,
that's what pisses me off.
That's fair, but I also see it as like, well, Cap said himself, like, I decided to go live like Tony told me, and you got to think of it as like, well, does Iron Man want Cap to then just go kill himself after?
Yeah,
just because
absolutely.
I don't
Trust
think that's.
me, I know.
No,
Robert
they
Downey
resolve
Jr.
things.
named his kid after me. Okay, I know things.
That's the real world. We're talking about the MCU, which is not the real world.
Everything is the real world. The MCU exists in the real world. Your point is invalid. What did you watch this week?
Boom. Roasted.
Boom, roasted.
I just completely disagree, but it seems like you guys are done with Infinity War.
I'm so done with Endgame.
Oh yeah, Endgame. I keep calling it Infinity War because it was a
We
little
all
bit of
watched
Infinity
it.
War to me.
It's on our lists. What else is on your list?
What else is on that list, Scott?
On my list, I watched Avengers Endgame twice, so I'm going to just talk about that for just a minute.
You son of a bitch. No, I will exit this. I will cough all over this audio, fuck it up, and leave.
Okay. Well, fine. If any of our listeners want to hear more of my thoughts, or more positive thoughts just in general about the movie, you can check out our YouTube channel where I personally made a YouTube video because I do those things. And yeah, you can hear, you know, what pretty much 98% of the world or 98% of people who've seen the movie think. So
Just find out what the sheep think.
Okay then. Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Bah, motherfucker. Bah, motherfucker.
Yep. Tell yourself that. Okay. Well, I watched Endgame twice, like I said. I also watched a bunch of Stargate because I love me some Stargate, and I needed some like chill watchage after watching Infinity War twice. So I watched that per usual. And I also just watched one other thing, which was American Gods Season 2, the finale. So all 8 episodes of this season have come out. I was disappointed that it was only 8 episodes, and they left it off on like
Another cliffhanger?
another cliffhanger, yeah. And we didn't really progress very much this season, so
Nothing, eh?
very little. I'm a little disappointed with the overall season. Like, I like the show still. Like, it just feels like we've only watched the first season in a sense, because it adds up to 16 episodes. I'm like, well, I've had plenty of shows that are 20 episodes.
The Flash is 24 episodes.
Exactly. So like,
it should arguably be 15, but
yeah, I agree. And this show, you think with it being 8, you'd get a little bit more progression in the small episodes, but it is a lot about storytelling, and that's Neil Gaiman's kind of style. So it is just, I did like that we got a lot more of the like stuff from the first season where we're learning more about different gods
branching off, yeah.
Exactly. So that that's the thing that drew me into it. So I like that part. It's just I wanted some more fighting. That's all. I want to see some gods actually fighting. That's what I came to this for. I don't know if it's going to be a little bit more of a theology.
I don't just want to see big tits. That's not all I want to see.
Exactly. That's what
Pornhub's for. Like, give me content.
They did pull back a little bit on the sex. I'm not going to say
God.
completely, but it's not as prevalent as in the first season. But I was also expecting a little bit more violence, a little bit more like the new gods versus the old gods. It just seemed like this season was very much, they both know they're going to war now. They're just prepping for it. And it's like, well, I thought that's what the first season was. I thought, okay, so they declared war, and now we've spent this whole season establishing how we're going to fight our war. And I guess next season's going to be hopefully the war. So I don't know. But
hopefully you find out that Shadow Moon is something more than he is.
Well, I won't spoil it. You do find they do give you a little hint at the end of this episode to why Odin cares about him. So that was interesting. But it was also like a little bit like, okay, well, they also left it. They gave it right at the end of the episode, and then again the season's now over. So it's like, okay, well, now I get to wait till next year to find out if that's actually
that sounds worse than the Brooklyn Nine-Nine cliffhangers.
Yeah, so it's like it's bittersweet because I love the show. I love Neil Gaiman stuff. It's just I want more of it. Is what it comes down to. Yeah. They didn't give me enough of it. And I'm like, I need a little bit more of an answer. Like they kind of left it a little too open. Where I'm like, okay, I guess I have to wait for the next season to have any kind of answers because it's like I can't just solve it myself because it's like, okay, where are we going? But luckily I do have the book, so I'm probably gonna read that before we get to the third season coming out. But
it probably has time travel in it.
I don't think so. I don't imagine so. He's not that type. Neil Gaiman, that is. But that's pretty much all I watched this week, minus the usual Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. What did you guys watch this week? Avengers Endgame?
Avengers Endgame, twice. A little bit of Mike Tyson Mysteries, because that show is...
Yes, Scott, you forgot to put that on your list.
Because that show is inevitable.
That's true, I did forget that.
I finally watched that Bandersnatch movie, the Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Did you get all the way to the end, or did it time out on you?
I think I made it to the end. What's the actual end?
Well, there's multiple ends.
Okay.
Exactly. Eventually it stops giving you options and just
repeat stuff. Because I literally kept just repeating shit.
Well,
I'd get to what I thought was an end, and it would take you like back to something you hadn't seen in like 30 minutes.
So the movie's set to run for 90 minutes.
Okay.
And you can usually get to the end of a branch unless you do something like throw yourself off the building really early.
Yeah.
You can get to the end of a branch within the first hour, but then it loops back to another point. So if you hit the end of a branch, it'll bring you back to another decision point. And the idea is that you're supposed to do something different.
The latest
until that 90 minutes, and then once you hit a branch after that 90 minutes, it goes to credits.
The latest I got in it was the chick who works for Netflix trying to make the Netflix game episode of it. And then she hits the same thing and her computer gets fried. And then she throws tea on her computer.
I saw that one.
That is the farthest I made. And then they took me all the way back. And I was like, fuck this. I'm so sick of these choose your own adventure bullshit.
That was the whole point, though. Was you're supposed to be able to do like 6 different endings.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
like
just
that.
the fact that it took me like halfway back through the movie when I'm not even on that part anymore. Like that it wasn't for me.
Yeah, I think it was designed like that because otherwise you end up on too similar of a branch.
That's fair, yeah.
Did either of you ever
Oh, I've never watched
Choose Your Own
it.
Adventure? No, Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Oh, I see. I
No,
used to try.
I never did because I'm the cheater who would say, "Oh, I didn't like that. I'm going back." I can't.
Yeah,
Well, no,
I've
that's
seen
the
that
whole
one.
point in the Choose Your Own Adventure book is you're supposed to be like, well, this was stupid. Let me go back to where I was before. You always leave your finger in the last spot you were at, just in case.
And see, that drove me insane though, because it's just, for me, it's like,
Life is about accepting what choices you make.
yeah,
I
a
went
little
through
bit. I'm a little
one,
bit like that,
so-
because it's also like it also feels like I'm making my own story, which I gets the point. But I'm also like, well, if I'm right, like when I was younger and I was trying to read those ones, it just made me want to just try to write my own story instead, which never worked out, obviously. But like it was weird because I have this weird curiosity where I want to know everything about something. Like if I'm reading a book, I want to read the whole book in a sense. I'm not going to speed through.
I want to know what book is.
Exactly, right? Whereas
I want
with
you to
those
show
ones,
me.
Show me.
exactly. Well, pretty much. I just give me the story is what I want. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can imagine a million different things. I want just one story when I'm coming to a story. If that makes sense. That's where like I get.
Give it to me. I don't want to do my own work on figuring out. Like that's what the book is for.
It is deciding, and that's where I'm like, I hate deciding things. So you throw me like when I'm trying to have entertainment, and it's like, oh, you have to decide. That's where my life struggle as it is. Like that's why my lists are so short sometimes because I'm like I can't decide what I want to watch. Cause
You know why I rewatch
options.
Family Guy every couple of weeks? Because it's tried and true.
Yes.
Because I know what it's going to give me. Why would I watch something that looks stupid? Speaking of which, I watched the new Anthony Jeselnik comedy special, Fire
Oh my
in the
God,
Maternity
how
Ward.
good was that?
I hated it.
Oh my God! I don't
didn't-
agree with anything you have to say anymore.
I didn't laugh once, and I love him. I love his really dark, sick,
I
twisted
feel like this
sense of
sickness
humor.
is really
It was-
affecting you.
I just watched it.
I listened to it this morning driving back from Kendall's. I didn't
best.
laugh once.
But really, you didn't laugh
No.
at the whole point where he's in the abortion clinic,
No.
and he stands up and goes, "Wait, don't you mean ultrasound?" I thought
No.
that was so funny.
I didn't laugh once. It was not for me.
This is fascinating because normally you two agree on like pretty much all comedy specials. I can't think of another
No.
time you guys. Do not
I
agree
like
on-
Anthony Jeselnik. I like his dark, sick, twisted sense of humor. I love his other special on Netflix. This one maybe I have to watch it again. Maybe I was grumpy this morning and I didn't know.
Maybe
I did not laugh at all.
I did.
Like his 15 minutes on like just killing kids. I was like, this is a long time to be talking about killing kids.
That makes
I'm
me
all-
just think of the time that you talked about murdering babies on this very podcast.
This episode, yeah.
Was that this episode too?
Yeah, that was this episode.
I was thinking about the first
Callbacks.
time it happened.
Oh, yeah. No, we don't talk about that one anymore.
Okay,
We're under investigation for that one.
that's what I'm always worried about.
So moving on from that, I made an attempt prior to this podcast to start watching Knock Down the House,
Okay.
The,
Yeah, that was
the-
gonna be my other one to watch.
the documentary on some of the incumbent Democrats who ran in this past primary election in the States.
Yeah.
And that was hella boring.
That
but it was
sounds
also
hella boring.
but it was also interesting to see like where some of these people were coming from.
Fair
Like there's one woman, I can't remember her name. She's from somewhere in the South. She's a reverend. She's this, she's that, she's everything, running as a Democrat. And she's kind of like, well, people who use religion to be Republican are fucked. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Associating a religion with the party, because that makes fucking sense.
Well, they do base the whole like system of government off of.
Which is bullshit, but that's neither here
It's not something
nor
for us to
there.
speak about, really.
Here nor there. And then they give you the other one that I can't remember her name. Oscar something.
That's why I had to stop
Oscar
listening
Mayer
to
Wiener.
politics, 'cause
I can't
could not
remember her name.
anybody's names.
She's a young Latina woman who's running in
the
the
one in
14th district in New York City.
Yes, it's
And-
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
I got the Cortez right. Cool. But she seems like a really nice young woman. And they give you like her day to day where she'll be out canvassing on the streets by day and then working working the bar life as a waitress at night. Trying to make the money to force her way through. And I'm kind of like, you know what? You definitely use this to lather it up to make it seem
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
a
in my
lot
head.
more heavy. But also, yeah, people are out there working legitimate jobs. We all don't have the white collar, loaded attitude to get into this stuff. As many
want them to.
politicians that are out there that are rich when they get into it, there's a few blue collar ones too who get into it. But don't get me wrong, it was boring as all hell.
That's all I feel about all politics lately.
Good
It's
to know.
just
Guess I'm not watching it.
Yeah, you don't grow as a human being. It's interesting to see the women's side of it and be like, cool, yes, feminism, power to the people, but also kind of boring. Like, I don't know how to say that without coming across as offensive, like, oh, what these women went through kind of bores me. Just, they went through it. I feel for them. I kind of just wanted a nap.
they're not like great storytellers in a sense. They're not like
Yeah.
captivating enough to like capture your attention to make you as interested in what they have to say. Because that's part of public speaking, is being able to actually get people like to care about what you're saying. Because anybody can speak in public.
Yeah,
It's just,
they were not Martin Luther King.
exactly.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah, like
They did not make me want to do anything other than take a nap. Although I'm good for them, glad they got through. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go take my nap now. Thank you. The last two things I watched on my list, I have Happy Endings. I finished that. Hated it. Worst finale of any show I've ever seen. Fucking horse shit. I actually audibly said, what the fuck? At the end of the episode.
wait. So have you not liked anything this week?
No, he's been.
I've been
completely
ill,
hating on
dude.
everything that you've said so
Okay.
far.
I'm just making
Oh
sure.
no,
I'm
have
just
I
trying to-
liked anything?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Have you liked?
I thought you said like, have I done anything? Like
No,
I
no.
watched a lot, and I was like, fuck you, man, I'm sick.
No, I meant like you haven't seemed to have liked anything you have watched. It seems like
Oh,
you
no,
just have
and
had
it's
a
the
miserable
last-
week and like
The last thing I'm gonna hit you with, I did not like that either,
Okay.
and that was The Flash. Watched the last two Flash episodes.
Okay, I think I'm behind at the moment. So don't spoil too much.
Okay, I'll
you can-
spoil it for you. That show fucking sucks.
Well, you
It-
felt that
it
way this whole
peaked-
season.
It peaked years ago. And now we're just at a point where you're like, fucking seriously? Still? What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, spoilers, kind of. There's a point where they show that Eobard Thawne in the future, in his little time cage thing in prison where Nora keeps going back and visiting him,
Yeah.
he's got a death clock. He was given
Okay,
a
no,
death
I
sentence.
did see that. Yeah, okay.
And it starts like there's one point where they show him with like 21 minutes, and in this one episode they show him with I forget what the time or what the amount is, but
Yeah.
they show him like when it just starts the clock,
Yeah.
like his last day of life or whatever. And then in this last episode that came out last week, they show him and he's got like 5 to 10 minutes left, and then they talk openly with Iris for 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, I hate continuity problems
It's
like that.
it's
yeah.
not like speed conversation.
Yeah, no, you can't.
It's legitimate normal conversation,
yeah, normal flow of time conversation.
and it's I'm just so done with it.
That's fair.
Like the time travel thing, like it makes no sense at this point.
Oh,
They're just
yeah,
they keep just reaching back and pulling stuff out of their
Well,
ass.
and they seem to forget their own like stuff that they
Their
say.
own rules.
Like,
Okay,
like I get that happens
they're-
with the change of writers room, but it's like nobody did their background. It's like you just had to like read the wiki for the last season, guys. Like,
the fact that us as fans watching can remember what their set guidelines are,
yeah,
but
exactly.
they can't.
That's that. I always say
Like
that
I
about any
remember
TV
episode
show.
1. Kendall and I talked about this. Episode 1. Barry gets his powers. He runs a little bit, and his clothes burn off.
Yeah,
Why? Friction.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the future, spoilers for the last week's episode. Nora. It's a Nora episode. It's about how she gets her powers, or how she finds out she has her powers, and she's running around the city, trying to save the day, fucking everything up. She doesn't burn her clothes at all.
Well-
there's singe marks here and there.
Yeah.
And then they show
gave
her
up on that
running
a
around
long
and
time ago.
like I hate that.
Yeah, no.
so
Barry runs
much.
around all the time in his normal clothing, like to get ice cream, and it's like, well,
And they run faster.
yeah, exactly. So it's like,
Like
well,
when he
they gave up on
delivered his
that.
wedding invitations at the end of, was it season 3?
yeah,
He should have shown up buck ass naked.
yeah. He was in
Like shown
khakis
up
when he
back
left, I
home.
believe.
Yeah. Like I hate the fact that they don't have a set like speedometer either.
It makes me feel like no one they don't care enough. Like that's how
No,
I feel.
no.
It's like it's such a small little thing. Like you didn't like little things like that. Like because they could have explained it at any point. They could be like, oh yeah, I'll like someone could have been like they could have had Nora have her clothes singed, but then they're like, oh, we have these. Make sure you buy this
These
material.
dampeners or something,
Yeah, or
yeah.
exactly, or a dampener. Yeah, a little freaking wrist bracelet. Or
Yeah.
a little chip they
Something
pop
that
in their
absorbs
neck.
the energy a little.
Exactly, so they can wear normal clothes. Like
Yeah, like gives it a kinetic
it's a
burst or
single
something.
line
like.
they have to do to just justify or just not do. You know what I mean? Like they didn't
Yeah.
ever have to make his clothes singe
They
off.
never
Like,
had to bring Nora in.
Yeah, well,
they didn't.
That's fair too.
This season has had way too many fucking random branches going on.
I'll agree with you on
And
that one. It's
the
hard
ultimate
to keep track of.
the ultimate sacrifice, I feel like it's been so watered down by specifically the Flash,
Yeah,
because everyone at some point has been like, oh, I gotta sacrifice myself.
yeah, but it's,
And I'm
it's
just-
only
I'm
like a
s-
half measure. But
I'm
that's
so
also
sick of
that's
this
also
show.
just a that's a problem with superhero storylines in general. Cause it's like, well, you either have to keep the story going like this one hero going for eternity and turn them into like the Simpsons where they don't age and continuity isn't a problem, or you keep continuity and you have to like figure out ways that they can canonically come back into it and fall out. And
Well, here's one
it's
of my
low.
last two things I'm gonna say about the show
Yeah.
before we move on to what Craig watched this week. One, I don't even want to say it because I'm so sick of the show. Okay, one, I can't even remember what they are, to be honest. Like I got so angry right there. I can't even remember what they are. So,
That's fair.
Craig, what did you watch this week?
We've actually already talked about most of what I watched this week, and it's you that's brought up most of what I watched this week.
Of course.
And it's funny because I have a different perspective on what our common points are. So, Endgame, obviously, we already discussed that. Mike Tyson Mysteries, obviously, we already discussed that. Anthony Jeselnik, same thing, I loved it. Thoughts and Prayers was better, but it was still
Yeah.
really good. Before we started recording, I was talking about a movie that I could not remember the name of. Turns out that was 50-50. Have you guys seen that?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Doesn't
Interesting
sound
film.
familiar.
It's
Sounds like something I'd actively avoid, probably.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen.
Oh, is that the one where he like
And-
pretends to?
No, he has cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, he has cancer. Okay.
Yes, and yeah, he has cancer. It's
That does
spine
not
cancer.
that does not sound like an Andrew movie.
It was kind of funny.
It sounds a little too.
It's
I can't really watch cancer patient ones. It strikes a little too
very-
close at home.
It's kind of plain, actually.
Yeah.
Like, there's really nothing exciting or over the top funny or really that sad because spoiler alert, he lives at the end. They give him
Okay.
surgery
Well,
and he
that's-
survives. He doesn't die. So it's just kind of plain.
That's fair. So it's just about
Um,
this guy's journey
Yeah.
through discovering it and how it
Yeah.
affect his life.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, just they can't ones with terminal illness patients just strike a little too close to home, and I'm like, yeah, I prefer
Usually-
not to be reminded of these things.
Usually I'd be on the side of I don't know why they made this movie, and it was really sappy, but this was not. This one was plain. It was a movie. It was one of those rare occasions where I was just like, yeah, I'm happy to watch this. It's all right.
Well, that's good.
And then the last thing on my list was that Sam and I started to watch Juno, but I haven't finished it yet. I've never seen that film.
Oh,
Spoiler, she's
that's
pregnant.
Yeah, she
What's the
is.
premise?
I am way more entertained by this movie than I thought I would be.
well, I could see that. She's got a very, like, her sense of humor in this, or like her
It's
sarcasm
hilarious.
it's right up your alley, in my opinion. I'm like, I could, like, if her character in real life, I could see you getting along with. Like, you'd
yeah,
potentially
she's
be
funny.
the Michael Cera, is that the one in it?
Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Except he's freaking weird. Which, I mean, it's Michael Cera, so
Yeah, you wouldn't be that. Yeah, like you wouldn't do the shorts thing. I think that's the one where he's wearing the
With
short
the head,
shorts, right?
with the headband, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've seen that movie once, but
yeah. I still have not finished it. I intend to at some point in the near future. But that's all I watched this week.
Short, sweet, to the point. And I didn't like any of your list either.
Andrew, before we go, I'm just curious. Do you think your, sickness, like you being sick? I mean, not sickness, but you being sick has affected your like feelings about anything lately, or you just think it's just had like no effect on you whatsoever? You just haven't enjoyed
Maybe-
these things.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just angry with the universe. Maybe I just think they need to give me better fucking content.
Well,
And I'm going to stop accepting the bare minimum bullshit that The Flash is willing to give me.
that the Flash is probably the exception to this week. You felt that way this whole season, so the last season,
The last
and a half,
two
you felt that
seasons.
way. Yeah, exactly. So the last two seasons, you felt
Defoe
that
was
way.
just, ugh.
But everything else is kind of. It shocked me. Like I said, you picked one like stand-up special that you and Craig felt opposite ways about. And like I said, normally you guys 100% agree on almost every comedy special I've heard you guys bring up, and then you guys make jokes about it. And this is the first one that wasn't. So I'm curious if you felt that played a. Because like when I don't sleep well, nothing can like help my day. So I'm just curious. I was just curious. Making a little chit chat before we go.
I don't know. I don't think it affected my mood at all. Like, happy endings, like, spoiler alert for anyone who's going to go watch it because I mentioned it. The way it ends is they've spent 3 seasons trying to patch up this broken relationship between 2 of the main characters, who it starts off at their wedding, and she leaves them at the altar. That's how the show starts.
Oh.
And then the last episode, they show that, hey, are we going to tell anyone we broke up? No, we should probably wait because it's my sister's wedding. And at the end, they have like this awkward moment where they're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't dance together. Maybe we should go dance with other people so we can get some closure. That's how the fucking show ends. Like, they spent 3 years trying to, like, force this bullshit together. Mm-hmm. And then in the end, they're just like, nah, it's over. Fuck it. Fuck you. And I was just, I was so angry at it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's fair. That doesn't sound like a show I would ever watch. So.
No. The politics one, I can't remember what it was
Oh
called.
no, that
Scratch
just
it out.
sounded boring.
Knock Down the House. That's one I think maybe if I was 100%, I would have like enjoyed maybe some of it a little more. Taking down, the man. I'm not going to do the voice because I can't hit those high pitched voices. My throat hurts too much. But I don't think genuinely listening to it again, because I will, I don't think I'm going to like the Anthony Jeselnik one. It was just, I didn't find it funny. And I liked his other stuff. It's just this one I was kind of like, meh.
Okay.
Maybe I'm devolving as a person.
I'm just curious. We do a lot of talking about this, so I don't know about you, but I think more about like what I watch, so I can see why your taste would change. It doesn't surprise me that you're getting sick of superhero movies. We talk about them a lot, so
All the time.
exactly.
They're everywhere.
So I get why it's over, like why you would feel this way about those things. That's why I was just curious. Like the comedy one, particularly, it stuck out because, like I said, you and Craig normally are like almost 100% on those.
I was reading a thing the other day that there was talk of them making a Super Smash Bros. Universe, and I shut my phone down.
That's fair.
I locked it and put it down after reading the title of that
someone
article.
make a joke about
And
it.
I was like,
Pikachu and Sonic. But
I was like, nope, can't read that article.
Oh, so
I
you're
don't want to read anything ever again.
So you're saying it's a good thing I didn't bring up the like 8 Marvel shows they've announced that are going to be going to
oh
Hulu?
my god.
That's what I'm saying. Too much.
Alright, guys, that's
It's-
it. We're shutting
it's-
down the podcast. There's no point anymore.
That's too much, man.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to
Some Sarah
conclude
Lynn
with
references.
another team up series called The Offenders. I'm just going to leave it there for you.
I
Bye, guys.
I hope Marvel burns to the ground. Bye.
Thanks for listening this week, guys. Bye.